Assalamu alaikum, my fellow flat earthers. Today we're going to be going through one of the most...
In fact, Islam teach that the earth is a flat and we can prove it easy, but we will go back to it later. And this is why Muhammad, he asked the Muslims to pray in the direction of the Kaaba from wherever they are. And this is why even the Quran says that the earth, we made it flat in many verses.
problematic, shocking, and faith-shaking verses in the Quran. Well, to Ridwan at least. Ridwan says that when he read the Quran the first time, this was one of the verses that stood out to him, and it played a role in him leaving Islam. As you can see in the title of the video, this verse is the one that speaks of the sun setting into a murky spring. I'm sure that I've read this verse over 100 times, and I've never really been affected in the same way that Ridwan has been. Surely, that's because I'm not as smart as he is.
Absolutely.
No, I'm going to enjoy this one. Let's get to the video.
Until when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of dark mud, and he found near it a people. The sun goes there for a bath after the day, I guess. Many Muslim apologists of our time try to argue that the Quran verse is misunderstood or was just mistranslated. That's absolutely not true, but stay with me and see how they do that. The first way of making the Quran not look too embarrassing is to corrupt it and to make it correct again. If you search on Google for this Quran verse, you will likely land on Quran.com, which features the Sahih International translation of this verse. In that translation, you will see that they added something that doesn't exist. The verse suddenly says that he found it as if it was setting in a muddy spring. See how they lie to you?
Ridwan is correct in saying that this is an addition to the text. However, it is not a corruption. Ridwan seems to not be aware that the inclusion of brackets is an indication that the word as if were not in the original text.
Thank you very much. So as long it is not in the original text, that means Allah, he do not need to add as if. So are you Muslims correcting Allah? Are you saying that Allah, he do not make it clear, and we Muslims, we have to add as if to make it clear? Or we are adding as if to lie at you? You see, the Quran says that the one who changed a letter from its location, he is doing corruption. What about those who they are adding letters and words? So the purpose of as if is just to make Quran look better. If Allah never say as if, and obviously that's mean he do not need to add as if. So why you add it? Maybe you are smarter than Allah. I think so.
Had this been an intentional corruption of the text, the brackets would not have been included in the first place. To be honest,
there is many verses in the Quran, there is no bracket at all, and they add the words, even translation for the hadith. Give me a break. Let's continue. So what is your answer for this guy? You see, I was looking for the answer in those videos, and I found that they are nothing but blah, 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 blah. Not only that, this guy is going to give us a hint to prove Muhammad to be a false prophet. Listen carefully.
This has nothing to do with the video. I'm just going out of my way to show that Ridwan doesn't seem to have any idea of the basics.
Here we come to number 2 of those apologetics. Many say that the translation is simply not clear and that you need to read it in a context, that the word used for finding it actually describes the situation only from Dhul Qarnayn's perspective, not as a general truth. So when the Quran verse here says he found it setting in a muddy spring, it means that he saw it that way, not that the sun actually sets in a muddy spring. First off, as a lover of linguistics, I have to say that that's absolute garbage.
Ridwan actually loves garbage, since he's a waste man. But let's see what he has to say about the linguistics.
But in order to refute such apologetics, I can do 3 things. Look at other translations.
That won't be necessary. We are in agreement that the words as if do not exist in the text.
Compare the word to other verses.
Good, we could do that.
And use common sense.
Oh boy, well, there are so many witty retorts that I could make, but it's so easy that it feels like cheating.
If you want to look at the word used here for finding is wajadaha, which means he found it. Wajada means he found. Now, we don't even have to go far. The same word is used again in the same verse. When it says, he found near it a people. He found here is wajada. It's the exact same word. So is this as if now? He didn't really find those people. It was only as if he found those people.
Well, Ridvan, you fail to realize the term wajada isn't always used to refer to a physical reality. If you go 9 verses back, this will become quite clear. Notice this verse speaking of Musa alayhi salam and his companion finding a wall that was about to collapse. The Arabic states, فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. Now, the literal Ridvanian translation would be, they found a wall that wanted to collapse. In other words, the wall literally wanted to kill itself.
Hold on. I mean, look how silly and how stupid what he just said. You just gave us a hand, actually, by your ignorance. You just admitted that they found a wall. This is what the word فَوَجَدَ. فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. What he found, jidaran. So the found or the find is about the wall. You just gave him a hand. He is not talking about he found the wall when a jump. Who care about a jump? This is the funny Islamic Quran words, which is funny and stupid. Because as you said, it doesn't make sense to say that he found a wall, he wanna fall down, as if the wall making the decision to fall down. And not only that, this is smart Muslim, he make a cartoon making fun of his God words. Listen carefully and laugh.
Yes, the wall had struggled for so long, struggled with paying the bills, years of not receiving the respect it deserves. Finally, it had come to a conclusion.
He's making fun of the Quran because the Quran is the one saying he found a wall. So the find is finding a wall. Then there's description about what this wall wanna do, and the Quran saying the wall wanna jump and will destroy itself, and you are making fun of it. Thank you very much. How in the world you say he found a wall which is going to destroy itself or jump and fall down? Have you ever heard of this statement before? But this is one of the proofs of the funny stupid Arabic which Muhammad he used in his Quran, and this is why the Arab they used to say to Muhammad, هذه وما هذه إلا أساطير الأولين. This is nothing but the fairy tales of the people before us. And Muhammad he confirmed that always. Here we go. This is the Quran. أساطير الأولين. This is what the Arab they always says to Muhammad. This is nothing but a bunch of fairy tales, and you make us laugh at you. And as you see, and Muslims they say to you, do you know that the Arab they were amazed by the Quran? The Arab were amused by the Quran. This is why they said to Muhammad, well, if you want we can make better than this, but this is a stupid. And this is a chapter 8 verse number 31. When our verses recited to them, they say, you know, like if we wish we can say like this. But this is nothing but the fairy tales of the ancient.
Okay, so again, Christian princess, ya habibi, ya habibi. You don't know the fact, you don't know that tashkil according to your previous videos. You don't even know Arabic. You don't even know shit in Arabic. You say that tashkil is decoration. It doesn't really have a meaning. Doesn't really change the meaning. Well, you don't really know the fact that يعلمون, the word ya, ala, mim, waw, nun, you can say يعلمون أو يعلمون. So if you change the skill into a fatha, يعلمون, okay, it means they know. And if you change the skill on the ya with a dhamma, it becomes يعلمون, meaning they teach. Totally different thing. But the word is the same. But because the change of the skill makes it look different, okay? For example, قدس, let's write the Quds, okay? Let's write the word Quds. qa, da, sin. Right? If we change skill, we put a dhamma, Quds, meaning the holy city of Jerusalem. If we change the qa into a fatha, qaddasa, meaning he glorifies. So the skill does change meaning. And yeah, Christian princess, yu'allimuna, okay, the woman said according to the dictionary, ilayhunna. She said that, right? You said ilayhunna, which is double mistake. The true meaning is ilayhinna. Okay, and then you try to explain how the last one says, Wallahi, you're so stupid, wallahi. Anyway, we'll see this guy. He doesn't even know how to read Arabic at all. And I have many videos proving that he doesn't have a degree in Sharia or Arabic. He doesn't have any shit. Okay, he's talking about the sun setting in murky water. وَجَدَهَا تَغْرُبُ. So Dhul Qarnayn وَجَدَهَا, he found it setting. Now, if I were to look in the sun, if I were in the beach, for example, and I were to look at the sun setting in the water, I would say, oh, the sun is setting, looks like it's setting in the water, when it's not really, right? But it appears to me that it's setting in the water. So when فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَغْرِبَ الشَّمْسِ, مغرب الشمس, where does the sun set? The west. So when Dhul Qarnayn came to the area where the sun was setting, meaning the west, okay, he found it setting in dark murky water. So in his distance he saw setting in the sea. It appeared to him that it was setting in the sea. Okay, and he found there, okay, meaning, and most people say this is the Black Sea according to the location, and he found there in that location that he went in the west, okay, where he found the sun setting in the water. So it proves that he went to a water location in a western place and on the earth, which is in a water location. He found it setting, okay, in that dark murky water, which proves that it's the Black Sea, dark murky water. Because the Black Sea, really, why is it called Black Sea? Because it's dark. Okay, the water there is dark. So, and he found there a people. Okay, he found there a people. So in this location, the water location, okay, he found there are people, maybe on the shore side or in this area, the dark Black Sea location. And today, if we go really to the Black Sea, you can see there's cities. There are cities. If you go to Turkey, for example, the Black Sea area, there are cities there. Okay, there are cities there, and there's people living there. Okay, so if we compare it to the Bible, okay, now the reality is, scientifically, the sun does not set. It is the earth that turns. And it appears to us that the sun is rising and setting. This is why we call it sunrise and sunset, to make it easier for ourselves, to make it understood. Okay? For example, people say we a long time ago in the desert, we will start traveling at sunrise, or maybe noon, or maybe sunset, right? But according to that, in scientifically, the sun does not set. So if Christian Protestants say that, oh, this is a scientific mistake, let us go to the Bible, Micah again, Micah, chapter 3 of the Bible, verse 6. It says, therefore it shall be night to you without vision, and darkness to you without divination. The sun shall go down, or the sun shall set on these prophets. The sun will set on these prophets, on them, on top of them. Okay? And the day shall be black over them. The sun shall set on the prophets. Now, where are these prophets? They should be in a particular location. They're not going to be all around earth. Right? They're going to be in a certain location. So where are these prophets? Where are they? And the sun will set on them. Now, in reality, this is scientific fabrication again, because the sun does not set. Now, if we go to the Old Testament, okay, in Ecclesiastes, I don't know how to spell that, but anyway, it's Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 5 of the Bible. The sun rises and the sun sets and hurries back to where it rises. The sun hurries back to where it rises. Now, Christians explain this to me. Because the sun does not set, nor does it move around the earth, orbits earth to go back to where it rises. Okay? So there must be a mistake again in the Bible. Okay? So now if they can, go on and talk all these, explanations, their weird explanations and excuses, then they basically prove the Quran is correct. Okay, if they're they're blaming our Quran that there's a Maghrib Shams, or there's, the rising of the sun or the setting of the sun, let them go back, look at their Bible, and see the scientific mistakes there. Let's actually go and see the scientific errors in the Bible, okay? In Matthew chapter 13, verse 31, and the Christians say that the book of Matthew, okay, is more correct, is authentic than the book of Mark, although Mark is the Bible and Matthew is the Bible still, but they also have authentic Bible and, errors in the Bible. Which prove again that the Bible is corrupt when they try to make many excuses. But don't worry, it's already known the Bible is corrupt by their own mouths. So Matthew chapter 13, verse 31 of the Bible, it says that which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it grows, it is the greatest among herbs, and becomes a tree, so that birds of air come and lodge into branch of it. So Jesus is trying to show that, another parable put Jesus forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard. Okay, is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. This is Matthew chapter 13 of the Bible, verse 31. That Jesus gives them an example. His disciple says, the kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed, which a man takes it and stores it in the field. And they say in this verse that the mustard seed, okay, is actually the smallest seed, which is wrong. Again, we check again in the Bible. In Proverbs chapter 6 of the Bible, verse 6 to 8, okay, the Bible says, look at the ant, you lazy bum. Imagine, like the Bible says, look at the ant, you lazy bum. Alright, son, look at the ant, you lazy bum. Watch her behavior and become wise. Okay, I'll watch her behavior and become wise. What's the next verse says? Verse 7, she has no captain, no supervisor, no ruler. And that's false, because there's a queen. A queen is the ruler of ants. Chapter 8, but she makes sure that she has food in the summer and safeguards her food during harvest. Now, at least they got one part of that, right. But they said that she has no captain, no supervisor, no ruler. She does have a captain, okay, ants do have a captain. They have the queen there, and she has a ruler as well, which is their queen. And their queen is in charge of them and tells them what to do. That's scientifically proven correct that the queen has that. But this verse says no. She has no ruler, she has no captain, no supervisor, okay? Which is false, which is another scientific error in the Bible. Let's go again. He's talking about the sun prostrating. In reality, the sun does actually prostrate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in this way, it is unknown to us, because basically it is one of the unseen matters. Okay, one of the unseen matters of how the sun actually goes and prostrates, underneath Allah's throne, right? But this is in the Bible as well. If they want to argue this is fabrication in the Quran, we can give them from the Bible as well. Okay, in Isaiah chapter 40 of the Bible, verse 22. It says, God sits above the circle of the earth. Above the circle of the earth. Okay, above the circle of the earth. The people below him seem like grasshoppers. Okay, so God has a throne above the circle of the earth. Okay, where he sits and he looks down and people look like grasshoppers to him. Okay, he spreads out the heavens like a curtain and makes his tent from them. He makes his tent from the heavens, from the skies. Please, Christians, explain this to me. Please, Christians, explain this to me. I need to know it now. Because God sits above the circle of the earth. Okay, above the circle of the earth. All right. In the North Pole, maybe, where Santa Claus is. The people below him seem like little grasshoppers. He spreads out the heavens like a curtain and makes tents with his tents from them, from the heavens. Another scientific failure of the Bible. Okay. I want to say something. If Christina Princess has balls, okay, just like Brother Hashim, he said that if Christina Princess comes, he has, Christian women have more balls than him. They actually come to speakers' corners and debate. If Christina Princess has, but of course he's gonna hide under a veil because he knows if he goes into public he will be exposed badly, right, Christian Prince? Because in public you don't have a computer screen to cancel, to hang up on people who you don't want them to debate with you or change that topic. You can't change the topic, right? But on your screen you can, because you have control over it, right? So if you want to be a man and grow some balls and not be a coward like your Jesus or like your prophets in the Bible, then go and debate Mohammed Hijab. And Farid responds, okay? And I just warn you from here that if you go to debate, Farid responds, he's gonna mop you. He's gonna wipe you in the debate, because Farid is more knowledgeable in Arabic than you. This guy is more knowledgeable in Arabic. Farid is more knowledgeable. You can see Farid's, mashallah, books, and he reads a lot and he knows a lot of Arabic. He will destroy Christian Prince like nothing happened. But Christina Princess, of course, he only is good for exposing, posting people on the screen and all these things. But let us see him go and actually debate with him, and Farid will destroy you. And similarly Muhammad Hijab. Okay? And this is why Christians, they're trying their hardest to destroy Islam, yet they can't. Subhanallah. They are trying their hardest. They say we must destroy Islam. This is what they're making them jealous of us Muslims. They have this, this thing in their heart that we must destroy it and we cannot destroy it. And we're continuing to destroy it and we're still not being able to destroy it. Billions of years later, and we're Muslims are still growing. And we're reaching to become more bigger than Christianity, inshallah. Okay? And the Christians will realize the truth and that they are wrong. And, as the Quran says, let them be enraged, right? Let the Christians be enraged with their hatred towards us and not being able to destroy us. So, Allah is God. Jesus of the Christianity is a pedo, okay? And it's false. Christina Princess, he says a lot of things about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as being a coward. Let me just ask him something. First of all, why is Christina Princess not Christian Prince? Because Christian Prince, or the princes long time ago, they used to go out, they used to face missionaries, okay, such as Muslim missionaries, and speak to them in public. While Christian Prince, or Princess, Christian Princess, he sits behind the screen. It does not show his picture, and is like, he's veiled, right? He's like a woman. And if he needs to go out in public, wallahi, if he wants to accept the challenge of debates, okay, because Shamsi challenged him for debate, to come to him and debate him. Just like David Wood has more balls than Christina Princess, he went public with Muhammad Hijab and debated him, and nobody killed him. But Christina Princess is a coward, just like his Jesus. And this is what I say, because Jesus, he hid from the Jews according to the Bible. When they were about to stone him, he went and hid. Plus, when they were about to crucify him, he hid as well, okay? And then the Christians say that the Prophet Muhammad was about to commit suicide. Let me just give you an answer. When the Prophet Muhammad, when Jibril first came to him the first time, the Prophet Muhammad did not know that suicide was forbidden, okay? So he was about to commit suicide, but he didn't. Just like in the Bible, the Prophet Elijah, okay, he ran away from a king, okay, he's a coward as well, okay, he ran away from Jezebel, okay, the king Jezebel, according to the Bible. He ran away and he says, God, please take my life, I want to die. So this is why all the Christians, they call him the suicidal prophet, okay. David as well, we have information about him. He as well went and hid. Okay, and Elijah as well, he went and hid in a place, and afterwards he went hid in a cave in Sinai, Mount Sinai, right, where God appeared to him. Similarly, David, what David did is that he also hid from his enemies. He was a coward. Your prophets are all cowards. Not only that, your God as well is a coward. He ran away from his creation, from his Jews. And they say that Jesus has all power. Okay, let me give you something. The Bible contradicts itself, okay? It contradicts itself, because first it says that Jesus is all powerful. He was able to create people, give them power. And in this one, he created the people and gave them power. He was not able to save himself from the power that he created for these people, which is really funny. Okay. Anyway, Jesus, and all the Bible contradicts itself. There's no shak in that. But Jesus, anyway, let's go to this fact. Jesus, when he was about to be killed, the Jews were mocking him, according to the Bible. They were mocking him. Okay. They were saying, if he's the Son of God, let him save himself. Let him remove himself from the cross. Jesus, what he did, he cried to God, Eli, Eli, lima sabachthani. He said, oh God, why have you forsaken me? Right? And he started praying to God. He started crying to him, to the one who could save him. And he was heard from God, who was able to save him. But another great contradiction we see. Jesus sacrificed himself for people to live. Right? Didn't he, Christians? Your God, according to you and your Bible, your God committed suicide, okay? And since he's God, he's able to save himself, right? He has all-powerful Jesus. He created himself. He created the people. He accepted to be tortured under the Jews until they killed him. He gave up his spirit, meaning he died on the cross according to Christianity. Okay, that means he died on the cross according to Christianity and Christians. He died for people's sins. But I thought God was able to forgive sin. He doesn't need a human sacrifice. Because according to the Bible, all right, if we go to Micah, okay, Micah, M-I-C-A-H in the Bible, chapter 3, verse 6, okay, sorry, this is not the one. Let's go to actually the Ezekiel, okay, the Bible, Ezekiel chapter 18 verse 20 in the King James version. It says, the soul that sin, it shall die. Jesus is sinless, okay? He's sinless according to Christians, and he never committed suicide. He's sinless, okay, and he never committed sin, but he did commit suicide anyway. The Bible says, the soul that sins, it shall die. The son shall not bear the sin of the father. Meaning if the father does a sin, the son shall not be responsible for it. But in the Bible totally contradicts that, because Yahweh made David, King David the prophet, he made his son die and his wives become raped for David's sin. And nothing happened to David. No illness touched him. Nothing happened to him. He was still living like a king. But his wives were tortured for his sin. Okay, they were raped for his sin. His son. See, it totally contradicts that. God contradicts that in his Bible, and there's many things that it says that God regretted that he created mankind in the Bible. Imagine God, the all-knowing, according to Christians, the all-knowing created mankind, and he regretted that. Like here, if God is all-knowing, he should already know the future and the past and the, what's happening, the present. How can he regret it? And why did he create them if he knows he's going to regret it? He didn't know that. The God of Christianity didn't know that. That's why he regretted it. Anyway, the soul that sin, it shall die. The son shall not bear the sin of the father. Neither shall the father bear the sin of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So anyone who does wickedness, he's going to be punished for his own wickedness. Not his son, the one that did not sin, that sin. The righteous, imagine his son is righteous, the father is sinful. Shall the righteous be punished for the wicked? No. The righteous shall be, judged according to his righteousness, and the wicked shall be punished according to his wickedness, right? But according to that, Jesus sacrificed himself, okay, for humanity to live. So he went, and and Christians say that I always debate with them. They always say that if he wanted to save himself, he could. He was able to do that, but he didn't want to. Okay, so he committed suicide. Jesus, your all-powerful God, committed suicide. Okay? Just so funny how Christians are stupid, okay?
Finally, hold on. You know what? You remind me of something. Struggling, not paying the bills. Is that why Muhammad, he did the same exactly like this wall? He went to the top of the mountain and he was trying to commit suicide. Is that true? Are you going to say to me as if, or this is as it is? In Sahih al-Bukhari, which Muslims cannot deny, we find that Muhammad, he tried to do the following. There was a guy, his name is Waraq ibn Nawfal, and I believe strongly that this is his real father who was sleeping with Muhammad's mother. Oh, I can prove it easy. And actually, if you have my books, you can see that. So this guy was translating from the Christian gospel into Arabic, and this is the Quran, as you see. This is Muslim books, and this is the wife of the Prophet saying that, not me. So Waraqa, he was a cousin of Khadija, and he became supposedly Nasara, not a Christian. Nasara, it's a kind of a Christian cult like Jehovah's Witnesses. So he became a Nasara, and he used to write the Arabic writing, and used to write of the gospel in Arabic. That is the Quran, my friend. And then when Waraqa he died, the inspiration of Allah stopped. Why the inspiration of Allah will stop? What this have to do with God? A man, his name is Waraqa. Who is Waraqa? No one. Suddenly, when Waraqa he died, but after a few days, here the story says, Waraqa died and the divine inspiration was also paused for a while, and the Prophet became so sad, and he heard that he have intended several times to throw himself from the tops of the high mountains. And this is Aisha reporting what she heard from people before her, and this is all the story goes back to Khadija too. So this is all by the family of the Prophet reporting this, the story. The Prophet trying many times, this says several times, and each time he tried to throw himself like this wall.